up, Dricus?
What's up?
They finally decided to pull these out.
Drake's over here. Congrats on the win. Just wanted to get your overall thoughts and assessment of your performance.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I felt completely in that flow state tonight. I felt I did everything that we trained. And yeah, it felt great. Every round felt like it was mine. And I'm so happy that I got to showcase the takedown defense. I'm glad that I got taken down once, and I could show that even if you get that, you're not holding me down. The game plan worked perfectly. Me and my team, my coach, we worked on this game plan. It was perfect. I think it was the perfect plan. And yeah, I don't think I could have done it better. The big thing was, obviously I could have gone for that finish, but the big thing about that was to go and prove. I said Still Knocks 2.0 is here. Part of that was showing the composure, not just going crazy. And every time I caught him, I could have gone crazy and go for that finish. But, you know, I basically had 4 or 5 finishes tonight.
I was just about to ask that. No, typically you do a lot of blitzing and you're very aggressive. And tonight you seemed a lot more calculated. Even when you had him hurt, it didn't seem like you were rushing in a lot. Was that a point in this camp to just settle down a little bit and more just like let the shots come as opposed to like forcing the issue a little bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a point in the camp. You know, it's been 11 months. It was a point of the small margins at this level that make you either champion or contender, and I don't like to be a contender.
And, you know, you obviously getting a big win over Kamaru. Right now, the middleweight title is kind of in flux. You said earlier this week it'd be a little bit ridiculous if Hamzat got an immediate rematch. Do you think with this performance you should be in line to get another shot at the title, especially having 2 wins over Sean?
Absolutely.
And then if you don't get the title shot next, would you welcome a rematch with Hamzat instead if that was a fight that was given to you? And would you like to run that one back given the way it happened last August?
Absolutely.
What's going on, DDP? Previously, you kind of had this beef with Izzy, and then here with Kamaru regarding, are you a true African champion or not? Kind of just settle the dust here. Are you the true African champion?
Who won both fights?
You did.
So you said it, not me, brother. No, my man, I think it's all respect. You know, with me and Izzy, that whole thing got out of context. I mean, I think we have so much respect for each other after sharing the Octagon. I have respect for any man. And after being in there with Usman tonight for 5 rounds, that man deserves all the flowers in the world for the career that he has had. So does Adesanya. These are incredible, incredible athletes, and we as Africans, we inspire our whole continent. And there's not a lot of us in the UFC, especially at this level, at the top. And it's only been an honor. I mean, tonight was the second time ever that it's been all-African main event. And I've had the honor of being part of both of those. And that's a massive honor. But, yeah, I mean, beef, there is no beef. We represent our continent, and we do it so very proudly. And tonight, there was no beef in there tonight. It was 2 warriors going at it, and I think we showed that to the world.
And I respect the respect that you're showing your past opponents, but talk a little trash to the rest of the middleweight division right now as far as Imavov and Strickland. He's the champion. You beat him twice. Why are those guys not on your level?
Because I beat him twice, and I didn't even know if Imavov was still fighting. Is he? He's still fighting? Imavov? I mean, yeah, it's been a while.
And the last one for me, tell me about the desperation going into this fight from your standpoint, because there's potentially a world if you lose to Usman, maybe you don't get another title shot in the future. Looks like you're lined up for one now. And was desperation on your mind heading into this fight?
There's not a world where I would have lost tonight. I said that. There's no world where I lost tonight. If I had to cut off a limb to beat him with, I would have done that tonight. You know, that loss against my last fight, losing that fight, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And desperation is not the word. But I'm a winner. and losing doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how much motivation was that last fight for you? People forget how much of an athlete you are. After one loss, people are writing you off. I mean, what kind of motivation was that for you?
You're 100% in that. People forget everything. I mean, especially MMA fans, but they are the best and the worst in the world. They forget every good performance you've had after one bad one. And, after tonight, they'll probably forget about the worst one too.
Yeah, what was the focus of your takedown defense? Were you looking for underhooks, trying to stay off the fence? What was kind of the game plan coming into tonight?
No, it was about being able to defend and counter whatever he throws at me. It wasn't about one technique. It wasn't that. It was, I don't think people realize what we did. Me and my coaches, me and my team, I don't think they understand the changes we made. For every takedown you do, I have 3 or 4 different things that I could do. Because if you have one, that's where the problem comes in. It was just all around me being better at that. And you know what was great tonight? I didn't go out there and think about, I don't want to get taken down. Because I had the confidence, because me and my team, we worked on that confidence. We worked on, if this guy shoots on you, okay, he gets you down, what do we do now? Because if you are worried about that takedown, it's probably coming, and now I'm not focused on my striking. That's why I could be so composed tonight in the striking. That's why I could be so precise with my striking. Because I didn't care if he shot on me, because he did. He did shoot on me. And I wasn't worried about it, because even the time he got me down, I was so happy about it, because he took me down. I could prove, you can take me down, but I'm standing right up. And that's what it was all about, is proving that, this is MMA. So bring everything you have, and let's use the best.
Dricus, congrats on the win tonight. You already said you had the perfect game plan. It felt like you went to that high kick a lot. Obviously, we know the history with Kamaru with that, and you commended his defense of it. Was that something that you really emphasized throughout this camp? Yes,
and the head kick wasn't such a big part of the plan. It wasn't. No, the head kick was there. We practiced it, but it wasn't such a big part, because my coach and I, we spoke about it, and we said, listen, the head kick's always there. And I said, well, after his one knockout, that loss, that changed the trajectory of his career, I think the man knows how to defend, and he does. I don't think I landed one clean head kick every time there was a hand in between, so his defense was great. But, being quite the shorter fighter, and he has a tendency to lean that way, so the head kick landed. And I capitalized. I caught him through the hands, and, those head kicks, they hurt. If I catch you clean with that, you're going to sleep. But, that man just, every time I rocked him, he just recovered. It's crazy.
And secondly, it's been nearly a decade since the UFC has been back in this city. It felt like there was a good 50-50 split for both you and Kamaru. How did you feel the atmosphere was here tonight with the UFC back in the city?
I have to say, I gave the challenge that I said Australia has a much better crowd than I've felt in Vegas. I think Vegas are spoiled. I think they're spoiled with all the fights they get. But I could feel tonight that it hasn't been here. The atmosphere was absolutely electric. Walking out, even the people booing did it with such, they were loving the booing. And the people that were cheering, they were doing a great job. It was, I would say 50-50. I would maybe say 70-30 in my favor. But it was weird. It was weird walking out to hearing cheers, and it was good. It was a good change of pace. But usually I was preparing just for the boos. So thank you, Oklahoma. It's amazing, and I will definitely come back to Oklahoma, not just to fight, but I enjoyed the place.
Dricus, you mentioned the 11-month layoff. How often would you like to get back in there moving forward, and when would you like to get back in there?
I don't know, my friend. The only thing I'm thinking about right now is the celebration of this fight.
Just a couple of final ones for me. Were you at all surprised that Kamaru didn't shoot more often? Obviously, you proved that you got right back up the one time he did take you down, but were you a little surprised throughout the fight that he didn't try at least a little bit more to?
I think if you go watch the fight back, I think he tried a couple of times. I think, with the knees, it forced him to try. He couldn't just shoot like he usually does. He shoots deep. And with those knees, if you run into them, it's going to be a good night. So every time he did shoot, he would go below the knee, almost like just trying to grab that leg. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So I think he shot. I could hear his corner, especially after round 3. They said, "Okay, take this guy down." But no, he shot plenty, but I was ready for it.
And then Brendan Allen, one of your other fellow middleweight competitors, tweeted out after your performance tonight, DDP sucks, end of story. Just curious to get your thoughts on him.
Why don't he go? I mean, Brendan Allen just goes and fights like number 20 ranked guys, right? Yeah, so, I mean, I'm glad he has Twitter. Good for him.
Last one on a lighter note. How good did the beer taste?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Congrats, Dricus.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more for me. Obviously, we'll never know what it's like to win a 5-round war like you did tonight. How do you celebrate tonight after that win?
How do I celebrate?
Yeah, what do you have any plans?
I'm going home. I'm going to eat whatever it is. The celebrations will start tomorrow, and that will be a lot of beers. My craving for this camp was wings, American wings, blue cheese sauce, and that's, yeah, for every wing, I'll have a beer. That's probably going to be it. Thanks so much, guys.
Thought you guys all went home.
We got you. We'll wait.
Just want your overall opinions on the fight. I know, obviously, you were not happy with hearing the 50-45 scorecard, but just wanted to get your overall thoughts on how the fight went.
Yeah, it's it's tough. It's hard to be on this side of it, and I'm not used to being on this side, so it's a tough one. But yeah, I hate to even bring up hearing that score or dealing with the score, because that's one thing that I kind of pattern myself is I never care about the score because I'm dominating. And unfortunately, now I'm on the end. Tonight I was on the end of, hearing the score. And yeah, I didn't like it, but it is what it is. I just couldn't necessarily get going. He was big, strong, he's rangy, so it was a little tough to get going. I took kind of like a thumb punch in the eye early on, and that kind of blurred the vision a bit. But, no excuses. It is what it is.
I was actually about to ask that because it was that one of those weird, it's kind of a punch, but it also looks like the thumb went in the eye at the same time. How compromised did that make you?
It was pretty compromised. Like I said, he's a big boy. And, when you start seeing two of the big boys, and he's got kind of, like I said, it's a weird, rangy shot. So it's kind of a little delayed to get out of the way of those shots, seeing them. But, no excuses. It's tough to be on this side. I'm not used to being on this side. So, yeah, kind of sucks.
Did his game plan at all surprise you? Typically he's let's say, unorthodox, like with a lot of his blitzing and everything. And tonight he seemed a little bit more reserved and not trying to run forward as much, maybe because of the wrestling. Did that surprise you at all?
No, I don't think I don't want to say it surprised me. I think it's just me, my ability to do what I want kind of surprised me because, like I said, each and every fight we're dealing with something, but you guys never hear of it once, especially with me, because I come out here and I'm, most of the time I'm victorious, so you never really hear about what you're dealing with coming in. But, when you're dealing with something and it kind of hinders you and your ability to go out and do exactly what you want to do or fight the way that you can fight, it kind of sucks a bit. But, yeah, I think, he was smart enough to understand that if you came forward, I'm the type of guy that will put you on your butt. So I think he was kind of, doing a good job of not running forward with the blitz.
And then, I think you're probably getting a little bit of flack online about, your recent stretch, but the reality is your two fights at middleweight were against Chimaev and DDP, two former champions. Obviously, both were close, or at least the Chimaev fight was close, and then you had moments tonight. You said you wanted to go where the opportunity exists. Do you feel better at 185, or are you happy to go back down to 170?
Like I said, it doesn't matter. I can make both. It's not 170 is a cut, but it's at the end of the day, I'm not the biggest welterweight. So, it is what it is. You deal with it. If there's opportunities there, I'm going to go there. If the opportunities up here, I'm going to stay here. So there's really it doesn't matter. it sucks that I wasn't victorious tonight because we're having a complete conversation, different conversation, had I went out and been able to execute the way that I wanted. So I guess this is my time of not being able to execute like I've done to most guys.
And obviously you have to heal up a little bit, but the thing of the past couple of years is you've only been able to get 1 or 2 fights a year. At 39, how active are you wanting to be? Obviously you're not hanging it up, but over the next year or so, how active do you want to be in there?
I would like to be active, but like I said, it's not one of those. I'm not one of these guys that's just going to stick around here just for a fight. Like I can't do anything else. I can, I've got a family at home, and every time I come in here, I represent not just myself. I represent my coaches. I represent my team. I represent my training partners and my family. So I want to do that in the best way possible. So I'm not one of these guys that's just going to stick around just to come in here and fight and take lumps, So it just, if the opportunity is there and it presents itself, I would love to get in here regularly. But, we've got to heal up some things and really do some work with the coaches.
Thanks, Kamaru.
Thank you.
Kamaru, let's look around the division at welterweight as well as middleweight. Are there any names that really come to mind as far as lining up your next opponent? Obviously, this was a #1 contenders fight. You hope to have another in your future.
Yeah, that's a tough one to say because all of my focus was on this one. And unfortunately, I'm having to sit here and have a conversation with you guys when, this is unfamiliar territory for me. But I don't know. I just go back and just kind of relax, and I'll talk with my team, management, coaches, and we'll see where there's next opportunities are. Listen, opportunities always come up. Like taking on Khamzat Chimaev on 7, 8 days or whatever notice that was, opportunity came up. Masvidal on 6 days notice, opportunity came up. And there's been a couple of little ones that didn't necessarily materialize that I've kind of almost jumped in line for. So opportunities always come up. And look, Michael Bisping was middleweight champion of the world. Let's not forget that. Opportunity came up, he jumped on it, he was a middleweight champion. So, yeah.
Kamaru, you're known as a 25-minute fighter, a 5-round fighter. You could say you have some of the best cardio in UFC history. But going into your next fight, do you think it's going to be a point of emphasis to be a little bit more aggressive early on?
Absolutely. I've always kind of been a slow starter. I hate to even say that. So I try to get in the first round or two in the back. I try to really get it out. And unfortunately, I couldn't do that tonight. And, well, I tried. But I went in there, like I said, you take that kind of weird thumb punch in the eye, and it kind of just, just wasn't my night.
Yeah, in the 4th or 5th round, you looked pretty fresh still. Maybe even more than DDP towards the end. What was your mindset towards the end? Was it really to finish him?
Yeah, of course I wanted to finish. Like I said, I was just a little off the timing. It was an off night. My timing was off. My shots were off. I kind of got a little loopy in there. I don't know, and it sucks because, the coaches put a lot of time in. My striking coaches, Henry and Trevor, and making sure that I'm able to effectively do what I want to do. So, fortunately, I didn't represent that tonight. So,
Islam Makhachev, obviously, you're rumored to fight him at some point. Let's say he loses potentially next month. Is that still a fight you're potentially looking for?
I don't know. I don't think Islam. I hope he doesn't lose, but that's not really something I'm thinking about right now. Right now, just kind of want to heal up. Like, I hate to even say it, heal up, but heal up, and we'll see what's next.
There was already some talk about Dricus' game plan against you. It seemed like he went to that high kick a lot, and he commended you for your defense of it. And it looked like maybe it was frustrating you a little bit that he kept coming. Is that the truth, or just the way it goes?
I knew he was going to be kicking, and that's fine. I just didn't execute. I knew kind of everything he was going to be doing. Nothing really surprised me. I think it was just me overcoming whatever I was dealing with going in and trying to execute like I've done so many other times. And tonight I just couldn't do that.
You said no excuses, but you keep saying whatever you're dealing with. Were you dealing with something coming into the fight?
I'm dealing with something every time. Most fighters are dealing with something all the time. And we overcome it, and most of my career, dealing with something, you overcome it, you go out there and you get the dub, and you guys never hear of it, just like you won't hear of this one.
I'll go one more. Just kind of give a little bit more thought on Justin Gaethje being here in attendance tonight and supporting you here in OKC, and your thoughts on he now being the champion at lightweight. And is there a fight that you would like to see Justin take next?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I still have to look down when I talk to Justin because, he's a world champion now, so I can't make eye contact with him. And unfortunately, I was, not victorious tonight, so I have to live that more, But no, Justin right now is, I call him Captain America. I think everyone else in here would agree that he is Captain America right now. I would have loved to have seen that last week materialize and see what, because I think right there, him and Conor, that sells itself, So, for now, I just think it has to make sense for him. It has to make sense. Justin is in a position to where, what really, if it doesn't make sense, then what's the point of doing it? He's done everything there is to do in the sport right now. So, I call him the most decorated for a reason. And damn it, I can't look him in the eye still. That's it. All right. Thank you, guys.